know I got the receipts, girl. You know I got the receipts. Hey guys, welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I'm back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And we would like to thank tonight's sponsor, which is Adam and Eve, for sponsoring today's video. Go ahead and click on the description, the link in the description box to get 25% off your purchase by using the code EROTICA, okay? So click the link in the description box below. Now, y'all know what time it is. All right, who we got in the building? April Hubbard, the real Virgo Queen, Orable Sexy, Courtney Jackson, Carrie Ann, Aaron Bernard, Dear Yvette says, hey Dear Yvette, proud member. I love Costco, Coach LP, proud member. It's Nikki, not Nikki, my moderator, the head sweetie in charge. Hey member, Cherry Hill, Kimi Renee Piper, Silky Slim, Adriana's Report, another proud member, Miss Nikki, Frank Magana, I always get that wrong, Sun Goddess, hey Sun Goddess, Real Dense Nay, the real Patty, Toxic K is toxic. Hey guys, Carolyn, I see you. So yes, we're here, we are gathered here today to lay this hoe to rest. Oh my God, Tasha. Girl, you're just giving me content, okay? Hey, just out here trying to get it. And that's all I'm trying to do. Okay, I like that name. That's all I'm just out here trying to get it. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Just out here trying to get my coin. And Tasha is the gift that keeps on giving, okay? She just keeps going around on these damn channels, making a fool of herself, just saying shit that's not true. You know, the blogs, they're just posting shit that's not true. And meanwhile, I'm sitting back just laughing at it all. Now, people in my comments, now somebody really surprised me today. I was laughing my ass off. They said, girl, Tasha K just got these bloggers out here. Like, girl, she ain't got us out here doing nothing. She's trolling and she just got y'all all in a frenzy. Like, you know, she trolls y'all and y'all just, listen, we out here getting our coin. Tasha gives us coin. Okay, the shit she does, it gives us coin because it gives us content. Hey, Itsy Bitsy. Hey, Asada. If you know anything about YouTube, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be getting our coin. Every time she do something stupid, we're supposed to come right back with a video. That's how it goes. All right. So she over there in Africa. Okay. And we're going to start off with her because, yes, we got two topics that we wanted to cover tonight. Okay. We're going to be talking about Tasha K, Cardi B, of course, and there's just some narratives that I have to give people the real tea. Like, I can't let y'all go around here believing in these lies and really believing in these narratives. I got to give y'all the truth. Y'all know I can't just let these lies slide. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this bond, okay? this bond request, the difference between the bond request, it's a supersedious bond request when it's really an appeal bond. All right, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what happens if she doesn't pay. What happens now that she's over in Africa? Can she run away and not pay? We're going to get into these things and we're going to provide receipts. All right. Now, Nicki Minaj has also sued blogger or internet personality, YouTube personality, Nosey Heaux for some things that she said about her being on the Coquiana. All right. And she also made some statements about Nicki's son, which we don't applaud at all. And she's actually come back and apologized about those statements. I don't think she's apologizing about the Coquiana statements, but she's apologizing about the statements she made about the baby. And so we're going to talk about that and get into it. And I'll provide my commentary on what I think, what I think is going to happen with this lawsuit. A lot of people have been asking me, do you think that Nicki Minaj has a chance with this? Is she gonna win? Who's gonna win, Nosey or Nicki? So I'll give you my perspective on this lawsuit. All right, so let's get into it. But before we get into this, we are going to issue our disclaimer. We are not legal professionals, paralegals. We didn't go to law school, nothing like that. We just give our common sense commentary based on the court documents that we find on the docket. Okay, hashtag we can read in the chat. I love that. I love that. As you guys are checking in, thank you for joining us tonight. Sit back because we're going to have a wild ride. All right. Now, our girl is in Africa. Cardi done chased her to Africa, okay? All right. Cardi chased her. Cardi was singing that song while Tasha was running over there to Africa. Cardi said, Tasha, you better give me my money, bitch. And Tasha was just over there. She on scooting her ass over there in Africa and he swam over there. And then, when they got off of the flight, the boat, whatever, when they landed on the African soil, Shaq greeted his mom. Bona salenini, mama. Bona, mama. It's me, mama. It's Shaq. Shaq, who is that woman you got with you? Who is that woman? Is that the Tasha K? Is that the Tasha that got sued by the Caribe? Bona salenini, mama. Bona, it's me. It's me. It's me, mama. It's Shaq. Get that woman out of here. I will take you, the baby, and the girl. But get that woman out of here. That's that woman that got sued by the Caribe. Get her out of here. Shaqna, get her out of here. Thank you, Frank. So far tonight, Frank is the sponsor of tonight's show. Thank you, Frank, for the $5 super sticker, honey. Frank is sponsoring tonight, okay? Now, she's over there in Africa, y'all, okay? She's wearing African garb, all right? She's wearing it, okay? The last time we saw her in African garb, she had on some pineapples. They were blue. I ain't never seen no blue pineapples. Okay, she had on blue pineapples. She said, this is what you wear when you go before king and queens. Now she's got some other shit on. Okay, she's got this shit on now. Now, I don't know. I don't know who's the stylist. I don't know if Chelsea's picking this shit out. I don't know. But she had this on Fufu. Fufu gave her this. Get that picture. Child, Fufu gave her this outfit. Woo! Fufu gave her this, and she's outside of the Bank of Africa. Goals. I want to be like her when I grow up, daddy. Child, don't nobody want to be like her. She even got the bag, honey. They even gave her a purse. Honey, she got the purse that came in the plastic bag right along with the dress. You know, I told y'all last night, this is given very much so African braid shop. Okay. This is when she came in there and she had this dress in the bag. Okay, for you, I do the whole set. For you, I do the whole set. $40. $40. I give you the set. $40. Give you the earring, the dress, and the bag. $40. $40. Okay. So now she's got this on. She's in front of the Bank of Africa. And she says that she actually got a car. Guess these people, how dare they send a car like this to take me after I deposited 600 million CFA in their bank? I need better customer service. So when I saw this, I said, well, damn, she paying for an Uber? They said, what? She got an Uber outside the bank and she paid 600 million for an Uber? But then I further read it and I said, oh, she got that deposited into their bank. Because I don't be paying attention to this shit, really. Me and my people in the DM, my girl, we go back and forth. She dropped me these receipts. And she like, Sweet Pea, you see this shit? So she said, let me do the math for you. Let me do the calculation here. And let's see what it's given. What's 600 million CFA? What the hell is that? So she gives me the conversion. Now y'all gonna laugh at this, honey, because I said, oh, so she is moving. She moving money around. Okay. $600 million CFA francs. So that's the West African currency. CFA francs. All right. And that is equivalent to $8,982.04 in American dollar. All right. 600 million francs, West African francs, is about $8,982.04. So I said, that's specific, right? That's a specific number. Like, it wasn't like a rounded up number. Like, this was a specific amount. Like, you just move that over. I know, Silky Slim, honey, girl, that ain't no $896,000. That's $8,982.04. There's no way. Okay, okay now. Okay, now we gonna double check that, but that's what we got. That's what we came up with. Now I'm gonna look at that again, but honey, I don't think so. I don't think it ain't no $800,000. No, it's $8,982.04. Okay, so I said, oh, she did say 8,000. Okay. I said, that's a specific amount. That's a specific amount. So then I said, well, you know what? Wait a minute. You know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's freaking AdSense time. We just got our checks. We just got our checks on the 21st. Tasha, I know good and goddamn well this ain't your goddamn AdSense check. I know this ain't the check that was deposited into the JP Morgan Bank and you done tried to put that over in Africa. Because that amount looked real specific. $8,982.04. That looked like a check. I said, that's like a good check. The 4 cents is what sent me. I said, honey, that's Tasha AdSense check. It look about right to me. It sounds about right. Because, the 4 cents is sending me. But in any event, she's put this money in an African bank. And the people said, well, is that legal? Can she do that? Sure. She can open up bank accounts and she can put them places. Sure. Is Africa a country that is exempt? Is any country exempt from being able to garnish? Can debt collectors, because Cardi is now a debt collector. Thank you, Gary, for the $5. Gary, you is in the running, okay? You and Frank, y'all are sponsoring tonight's video. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the $5. I appreciate you guys. We got a $5 super chat and a $5 super sticker from Frank and Gary. Thank you guys. Look at my men coming through. These are my sweetums. The men are called sweetums. Thank you guys. We call the men sweetums. We call the girls sweetums too. But that was what the sweeties and sweetums, it was intended for the males to be sweetums as well. But honey, whoever want to be a sweetum. But these are my male supporters. So it's always good to see the men come through because we always got the women. So thank you guys. Thank you, brothers. Now, okay, let's get back to the topic. Girl, let me find out that's your AdSense money, and you think that you could run to Africa and put that money in an African bank because you running from your debt. Now, Cardi B is now a debt collector because of the fact that she's going to garnish Tasha K's wages. She's now a debt collector. Whenever, a judgment is given and it's owed, now you are a debt. You have to collect the debt, right? So she's a debt collector. She's a debt collector. So can you run to another state or country? I'm sorry. Can you run to another country? It's going to follow you. So let's look at credit.com and let's see what happens if you move to another country. Let's just read the receipt, okay? We're going to go to credit.com because I think that credit.com is a pretty reputable source when it's talking about debt and collections of debts. Okay, this is a civil judgment, mind you. Okay, so this isn't anything criminal. So absolutely, this is something that is going to follow you, all right? This ain't no moving money around, some espionage shit. This is a civil goddamn judgment, girl. Okay, so now let's just read the receipts from credit.com. Let's see what they talking about. Let's get that receipt. Because some of the girls think that they can just move away and it's just gonna, I don't have to pay. Can debt collectors follow you to another country? Well, are you somebody that is overwhelmed with debt? Whether it's unpaid credit card debt, medical bills, you might feel like you have nowhere to run. In fact, you might be so desperate that you're considering extreme tactics like moving out of the country. Now, before we get started and anybody freaking says, sweet pea, but we talking about a judgment. We ain't talking about credit card bills or medical bills. Or a debt is a debt. It doesn't matter what type of debt it is. Okay? Judgments fall under this type of debt. You might be so desperate that you're trying to move out of the country. Now, if you're seriously considering uprooting your life just to avoid a debt, you probably have a few questions. How do you start over in a completely new place? And can debt collectors actually follow you to another country? Now, it might be tempting to leave all your debts behind, but it isn't that easy. and it isn't always practical. Now, we're going to walk you through the process as well as some alternatives so you can make the right choices for tackling your debt. Now, can debt collectors follow you to another country? If you owe money and you don't pay it, a creditor typically has to get a judgment to be able to force the collection. And in that case, in our case, that is the writ of execution. Because the garnishment, if that doesn't work, hey, well, then we're just going to put the writ of execution. We're going to liquidate your assets. We're going to have the marshal serve you. And the marshal's going to be the one that holds on to this debt. And then if you don't have it, they're going to liquidate anything that you own and then transfer those funds to the debtor, the debt collector. Judgments must be filed in the state where you reside. If you move before that process begins, creditors might not be able to locate you and file in the correct jurisdiction. So see, that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to move from the jurisdiction of where this judgment took place to try to, not get served. But girl, you're Tasha K. Remember, you're a blogger. They know where you are and you can't stay off the internet. Again, Tasha K, her worst enemy, puts her foot in her mouth. If you're trying to run from anybody, you're trying to lay low, the last thing you want to fucking do is take a picture of yourself in front of a Bank of Africa saying that you just deposited almost $9,000 in the bank. Look at me. Hey, I got money. Look at me. Come and get it. Dummy. Now, a judgment can allow a creditor to file a lien against your property or garnish your accounts. For example, while they can't keep you from leaving the state or country, the creditors can keep you from taking some of your assets with you. Now, even if you do manage to leave the country, you might want to return one day. So if you ever do return to the United States, the financial issues that you ignored can still haunt you. Plus, if you have poor credit, you probably won't qualify for an international credit card before you move abroad. Now, what happens if you move to another country? So if you have a lot of debt, can you solve your problems by moving to another country? They said probably not. Here are some examples of what might happen if you move abroad and ignore the debt that you owe. If you move abroad, you'll be responsible, of course, for any federal or student loan debt. You could face severe consequences if you choose not to continue making payments on your loans. Now, that has to do with, student loans. Now, if you have unpaid tax bills, you don't want to, you definitely want to continue to pay those because they are federal. Even if you move out of the country, you don't want to ignore your debt. It could lead to your passport being revoked. Now, this would make it impossible to continue traveling. If you were to move back home and the IRS garnish your wages, it would be challenging to get financing or save the necessary funds needed to pay for your daily expenses. It says, why won't that strategy work? It sounds like an easy fix, right? Just move out of the country to avoid a collection agency and your debt. But you could run into a few problems. Most people don't have the means to just start all over and go to a different country. And you're going to most likely need cash. You just can't pack up your bags and move anywhere you want. Often becoming a legal resident takes a lot of steps, paperwork, and money. You have to become established in that country. Many countries require that you have either a significant amount of income or enough cash to buy property or investments to legally establish a residence. If you have a debt issue, you might not be able to get the cash up to do that. Now, what happens to your debt when you move to another country? If you ignore your debt and you try to live a new life in another country, it might only create more issues for you. While you might not face the consequences right away, you could get hit with additional fines and interest when you come back home. Coming back to piles of unpaid debt can cause more issues than dealing with the debt up front instead of running away to escape your debt might have caused. So don't run away, they says. Make a damn payment plan. And so this is where people are going to say, but Sweet Pea, this doesn't have anything to do with Tasha K's debt. It's a judgment. It's the same thing. It's the same idea. It's the same principle. Debt follows you anywhere you go. You cannot go away to another country to avoid paying a debt. Your bank account can be garnished in any country. Okay? Now, the rules for international collection on accounts, it might be tricky. There might be some red tape. But when you already have judgments and you already have things that you're dealing with the courts, and they already gave you a directive not to be moving money around, because y'all remember Judge Ray Ray told her not to do this specifically. So if the courts are finding that there's some slick shit going on, what do you think? They're just going to ignore it and let you slide? You're not going to get away with that. Again, Cardi B, powerful lawyers, they know exactly what they're doing and they know what you're doing. So again, you can't just run away and avoid a debt. Now, the question about this bond request, this supersedious bond, Cardi B asked for a supersedious bond, okay? And what is that? It's actually an appeal bond. So I hear people saying, well, she filed an appeal, so she doesn't have to pay a bond. That's not true. That is what the actual appeal bond, that's why it's called an appeal bond. A supersedious bond is also known as an appeal bond. Okay? Now, when you read the paperwork on the docket, they are saying that if you want a stay, because remember, Tasha K said that we would like a stay until our appeal is heard or decided, meaning Cardi issued the writ of execution. She wanted the judgment to start being paid. And Tasha came back and said, no, we need a stay until the decision of the appeal. So then Cardi says, well, if you want one of those, we need a bond in the amount of the judgment. And that's what this is. A supersedious bond is an appeal bond. It is for this very reason. It is in place of the judgment in case the appeal is not overturned. That way they can collect interest, attorney's fees, anything that I paid out because I had to wait for you to play around in my face, the judge's face, and everybody's. And it says that in this paperwork. It says that. Basically, I'm waiting around on an appeal, an outcome of an appeal that is just makes no sense and it's wasting my time. So I need this appeal amount, this bond amount, the amount of the judgment, since you want me to wait. So when people say, well, she doesn't have to pay this bond because she filed an appeal, that is not true. That's the whole argument. What they are really trying to say is, because she filed an appeal, the judgment, the writ of execution can be stayed, which is why Tasha submitted the paperwork for the stay. Because you have 30 days from the judgment to start collecting on it, unless there is an appeal in place. That's the law. The law is you cannot collect on the judgment until 30 days after the verdict, right? If there is no appeal, if there's an appeal, they automatically should not be able to collect on the debt. That's what Tasha's argument is. But Cardi B is saying, okay, if that's the case, then we need a supersedious bond, because the law states that if you're asking for a stay, a supersedious bond is like kind of like automatic. It comes with it. And they're saying normally that's what would happen. So why are we thinking about doing anything different? Normally, in anybody else's case, this is how it would go down. right? So they says, Cardi B, she respectfully submits this brief in response to the motion for stay, pending appeal, and motion for denial of plaintiffs filed by defendants Kibi and Kibi Studios in support of Cardi B for a supersedious bond. So they said the judgment given on July 19th from the court, they issued the judgment in this case, which incorporates the verdict in favor of Cardi in the amount of $3,863,000. I always do this wrong. $3,863,753.47. On July 29th, the defendants then filed an appeal. The plaintiff sought to execute on the judgment on September 1st. So, Cardi B, I showed you guys the two bonds, the two writ of execution amounts. One was served on Kibi Studios and one was served on Tasha. And both of those together equal about $7 million. One was for 3.8, the other one was for 2.8. Okay. And what that is saying that your properties and anything you would need to liquidate in order to pay that off if need be. But those are the writ of execution amounts that we are serving on each of the defendants. Because remember, there are two defendants, Kibi and Kibi Studios. So when Tasha saw them two goddamn writs of executions, she said, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Okay. So she said, Judge, we need to stay. We can't just give that, because when they ask for these writs of executions, they're not asking for a payment plan. They want the money all up front. Even this appeal bond, they want all up front. They don't want no 30%, 60%, 20%. They want the amended judgment amount in full. Write a check. Now, the stay of execution requires an appropriate supersedious bond, is what the argument is. Now, according to Rule 62, it governs Tasha K's request for a stay of execution and provides that they are only entitled to a stay upon providing a supersedious bond. So they said with federal rules, Rule 62 of the Federal Rule Book of Civil Procedures governs defendants' request for a stay and saying that they are only entitled to that if they give a supersedious bond. Now, the defendants nevertheless argue that they are entitled to a stay without providing a bond to Rule 62, which provides if a judgment is a lien on the judgment debtor's property under the law of the state where the court is located, the judgment debtor is entitled to the same stay of execution the court would give. Now, want to know what that sentence means? And this is why Olga does not need to be an attorney, because even I understand this. Okay. Now, they're trying to say that they need a stay. According to Rule 62, Cardi says that no stay is entitled. No stay is entitled unless they have a bond. But Tasha's team is saying, well, that Rule 62 provides an exemption for this rule if a judgment is a lien on the debtor's property. Now, if the judgment debtor is entitled to the same stay of execution, then that would mean that you're saying that there's a lien on your property. Now, I didn't see anything anywhere that said there was a lien on the property. I don't see anywhere any paperwork that says there is a judgment lien on the property. So Tasha is trying to get her way out of this. And that would be the only way out of this, if there was a lien on your property from this judgment. Now, the law of the state that the defendants rely on for their position is twofold. This is Cardi B's and their. Okay. I'm trying to see if It says, first, the defendants cite OCGA 91280, which provides that all judgments obtained in the superior courts, the magistrate courts, or other courts of this state shall be of equal dignity and all property of the defendant in the judgment, both real and professional, from the date of such judgments, except as otherwise provided in this code. Some courts in this district have interpreted this code section to mean that a judgment debtor in Georgia federal court is entitled to the same stay of execution that a Georgia state would give. The language of OCGA does not necessarily dictate this result because under the prevailing rule, Rule 62, it's limited to situations where a judgment creditor is only required to perform where ministerial acts to transform the judgment into a lien. Okay, so there's what I was saying, that is there a lien on the property? You would have to transfer the judgment to a lien in order for you to get this stay, Tasha K. Okay, that's what the language of this rule actually is stating. If there's no lien, then you can't get a stay. You got to pay the bond. So they further go on and they cite a case of MM Steel versus JSW Steel, and citing cases and finding Rule 62 not applicable under Texas law. Thus, whether Rule 62 applies may depend on the nature of Georgia's other requirements for acquiring a lien, requiring judgment to be entered on the general execution docket. Then they do another case that was discussing the interplay between the rule OCGA and then the additional acts that must be taken to create a lien on real property. So all of that is saying that in order to get the stay, the exemption that Tasha's trying to claim, there has to be a lien on the property, and you got to transform the judgment into a lien on the property, because right now the judgment is a financial judgment in the form of that amount of money. Okay. Now, regardless, this court need not weigh in on the issue because a stay of execution would be warranted under either federal or state law if an appropriate supersedious bond is provided. So what Cardi's team is saying right here is that now all this argument you're going back and forth saying about transforming things from from the judgment to a lien, all this is null and void for us because the court doesn't even need to consider it, because a stay of execution will be warranted under the law if they pay a bond. That's it. So they're saying none of this matters. The bond has to be provided. Secondly, the defendants cite Rule OCGA again, which provides that the notice of appeal filed as provided in Code Sections 5637 and 5638 shall serve as supersedious upon payment of all costs in the trial court by the appellant, and it shall not be necessary that a supersedious bond or other form of security be filed, provided, however, that upon motion by the appealee made in the trial court before or after the appeal is docketed in the appellate court, the trial court shall require that supersedious bond or other form of security be given, which such surety and in such amount as the court may require. Under this code section, a notice of an appeal filed in a state court in Georgia acts as an automatic stay on the execution of a judgment. However, upon motion by the appealee, the court shall require a bond or other form of security. They're saying they need the bond or other form of security because of the stay requested until the appeal is determined, whether they're going to hear it or not. Now, indeed, once the appealee moves for a supersedious bond, it is entitled to that bond. And the court's discretion on the question of whether a bond is necessary vanishes. Okay? And they cited a case, Bennett versus Hendricks, when this happened. Thus, even assuming if Rule 62 applies, the defendant's request for a stay would still be subject to a bond requirement, because nothing in OCGA suggests that a trial court may refuse to require a supersedeas bond posted for the benefit of an appealee who seeks security for a money judgment. So they are saying no matter what, the court doesn't even have the right to refuse the bond because it acts as a security for the money judgment. Now, the defendant's contention that Georgia law entitles them to a stay without providing a bond is just plainly wrong. They cite DeKalb County School District versus JWM, but there the school district held that Georgia law did not require a bond because the appellant was county agency and was exempt from the bond requirement. Now, that basis is wholly, not supported here. It's not applicable to this case because they're not a school or a federal agency. So they would not need to cite that case. Why would you cite a case and try to compare it to your case? That wouldn't apply to you. You're not a school. Now, as for the mechanism for obtaining a stay if Rule 62 is triggered, the procedural rules for obtaining a stay and requiring a supersedeas bond continue to be governed by the federal rules of civil procedure under the Erie Doctrine. And then they just go into it. I mean, they just keep going. I'm not even going to keep going into it because all it is them just ripping them to shreds more and more. But when you get to Part B in this, it says the plaintiff is entitled to a supersedeas bond for the full amount of the amended judgment because the purpose of a supersedeas bond is to preserve the status quo while protecting the non-appealing party's rights pending appeal. Crucially, the bond secures the prevailing party against any loss sustained as a result of being forced to forego execution on a judgment during the course of an ineffectual appeal. Now, does anybody know what that means? That is the whole heart of this document. And I really be trying to explain it. I hope I'm doing a good job. I hope you guys get it. But this is the central part of this. They said you wasting our damn time. So that's why we need a supersedeas bond. We need an appeal bond because this is an ineffectual appeal, period. It has no merit. She's just doing it to stall. So because of that, we need her to pay this bond to secure our rights and protect our rights. Now, it says if it's the defendant's burden, it is the defendant's burden to demonstrate why this court should deviate from the usual requirement of a full security supersedeas bond. And then they say furthermore. Now, this is where, again, Tasha K putting her foot in her ass. She's in you in this situation, court case, appeals, all this shit. And you can't stay off social media because now look at this shit. Look what they put in here. This is more than a hypothetical concern in this case. They're saying, okay, we're telling you that we need this bond to protect our rights. And we're telling you that this is an ineffectual, we're saying all this, but we got more proof that it's just more than a concern in this case. Because during the litigation, Kibi bragged publicly that she had taken steps to insulate herself from a judgment. And they say P651 Cardio Video 169. That's page 651 of Cardi Video 169 in transcripts at time mark 12:30. And there have been more recent online reports that Kibi has moved from Georgia to avoid enforcement of the judgment. See Marty Bowser, a video from that person, ran off on the plug. Tasha K allegedly moves to Africa to escape a $4 million owed to Cardi B. That was published September 14th, 2022 at 12:32 p.m. YahooVideo.com video. I don't know. So it wouldn't be posted to YouTube. It's an article, a blogger on, and it's through Yahoo. It's not through YouTube. But that P651 Cardi video 169, that's from the transcripts. So they say even back then, she was bragging publicly that she had taken steps to insulate herself from a judgment. And furthermore, we got people out here saying she done ran off on the plug because she's live. So in that video, you see Tasha K live talking about she's in Africa, similar to what we see her posting on her story, that she's in front of the bank because she can't stay offline. She can't stay offline. She hurts herself every time. She can't stay offline. Can't stay offline. So, honey, Cardi B, they say they need their money. Likewise, Georgia law requires a judgment debtor to show good cause for a supersedeas bond less than the whole amount of the judgment remaining unsatisfied, costs on the appeal, interest, and damages for delay. The bond requirement should only be waived in extraordinary circumstances and only where alternative means of securing the judgment is available. So they saying the full amount of the judgment, cost of the appeal, interest, damages for delay. They want damages for delaying because you're delaying my judgment by following an unwarranted appeal. So now they even want, Cardi's going to want more money for damages for delaying this, for delaying payment of the judgment. Now, they said the defendants have made no attempt whatsoever to meet their burden to demonstrate why the full security bond requirement should be reduced or waived. Accordingly, defendants should at minimum be required to provide a supersedeas bond in the full amount of the amended judgment to obtain a stay of execution. So they want all of their money. They want all their money. They want it. Now, I don't understand why winos and why people do not get what the hell is going on here. You have a woman that is refusing to take accountability for what she has done. She didn't want to take the videos down. She didn't want to stop the behavior. She still trolls Cardi B. She still makes, insinuations that these allegations are true. Eventually, we're going to find out that they're true. She's teetering on the line of violating her injunction by making videos and on subject matter that she has been told that she cannot make videos on. And then the people say, well, if she doesn't have it, she just won't pay. That's not true. She has income. So in order for her to say that she's not going to pay, then that means she would have to stop blogging. She would stop having an income coming in order to not pay. Because as long as she's doing videos, as long as there's money being generated and Cardi B and her team can see that, they will take her money. That is the only way she can avoid paying, is to not have an income, period. There is no way around her paying this judgment unless they overturn the ruling. Unless the appeal is found in Tasha K's favor, then she would not have to pay. But that we all know that's not going to happen. She's going to be paying Cardi B. Now, how will she pay Cardi B? She will pay Cardi B in a form of a garnishment. If she's not able to pay all at once, she will have to make a payment plan, and it will be the percentage of garnishment that is allotted in Georgia. I believe it's 30%. 30% of your wages. So it would be monthly, a monthly payment. It wouldn't be 30% and that's it. It would be 30% of your wages or your income or whatever income level per month, and you would have that debited from your account. So what they would do, they would take an account. This is why everything has been sold off or attempted, because again, you don't sell homes. You cannot sell homes when there is a judgment on you. So if she did sell the home, she hurried up and did it before the judgment was enforced or put on her credit or, on her, so that she kind of get it off so nobody sees, no banks or anybody sees that she has this judgment. So that might have been why, if they did sell the property, why they did it so quickly, to avoid the judgment going on the credit. Now, if it went on the credit or if it's on her record already, she will not be able to sell any properties until her judgment is paid off. That's when you start talking about liens being placed on people's properties, liens being placed on bank accounts, liens. Right? So you will not be able to get around it. Then when they do liquidate and sell things, because there's a writ of execution, the marshals, the U.S. Marshals, are the ones that deliver these writs, and they're the ones that handle the sale of properties and, transfer the debt to the debt collector and all of that. The U.S. Marshals are involved in these things. If you don't believe that, you can go research it yourself. I've already done the research. Please don't listen to me. Go and do your own research, because that's how it works. U.S. Marshals are involved in the writs of executions. They try to liquidate whatever properties and any assets you have to satisfy the debt. And then the balance, you will be responsible for either cutting a check in full or setting up a payment arrangement. And as I stated, it will be the amount of garnishment allotted in your state. She wasn't supposed to. She was not supposed to. Judge Ray told her this. So if the court already gave you that order and directive that you weren't supposed to be doing that, I don't know how that's going to affect her. But I remember that's in the docket. I remember him saying it on the live stream. So it is what it is. She's not going to get around paying it. It doesn't matter where she moves or whatever, she's got to pay, period. Now, moving on from that, okay, because Cardi said, listen, I want my money, okay? I want my money so we can go to the Dominican. I want to take my kids, okay? Listen, Cardi. Listen, honey, I want my money, okay? I'm Cardi B. Come on, Tasha, get the money together. She said, come on, Coach, come on, we're going to the Dominican. Come on, wave. Oh, we just had wave party. Did you see? Oh, my goodness, my baby, he's one. Oh, look at us, Tasha. Don't you wish you was like us? Come on, we're going to the Dominican. Come on, everybody. Mommy, daddy. We going, come on, we're going to eat the chicken feet. Child, Cardi had them goddamn octopus in that damn pressure cooker. I said, Cardi, what is that? Come on, we're going to eat some octopus. Come on, everybody. Let's eat that. We're going to eat some octopus. We got some crabs. We got the crabs in the curry. I said, girl, y'all eating good around there, but it's your type of good, because I don't want none of that shit. Leave that shit over there. But when people say, now, this Cardi's going to be waiting forever for that money, that is not the case. She might not get that money in full all at once, but she will collect on the money. I keep telling you, just because you cannot pay it all at once, you will be garnished. It will be 30% of your wages. And it will go into Cardi's account from Tasha's account, debited to debited. every month. No, that is not that. We already did the calculation. The 600 million francs was $8,900 and some dollars, roughly $9,000. 600 million CFA, it is not a lot of money. We already did the calculation and using the conversion for US dollars to francs. Let's see. Oh, let's see, 600. Yes, it is. Oh, look at my girl. Look at my girl. Look at my girl. Mm-mm-mm. That's not the right. That's not million. That's 600. Girl, you done put 6 million, girl. Look at my receipt. Girl, you done messed up my receipt. They are right. It is. We got to take that back. Girl, you done put 6 million, my receipt. I know I should have did that myself. Well, honey boo boo, get that shit to Cardi. Get that money to Cardi, girl. Run it. But damn, why are you telling people this? Child, we got to make a correction and we got to run that thing back. Tasha got $896,000. Tasha, you got 890. Girl, you wasn't. Girl, if I'm wrong, I could come back and it ain't that. It's never that deep. Silky was saying it too. I'm sorry, Silky. Y'all was right. Child, my people gave me the conversion for $6 million, not 600 million. So, honey, Tasha's out here with $896,000 is what she want us to believe that she had converted. So she done sold off everything. Okay, girl. So you done liquidated every damn thing. Okay. You done liquidated everything, honey, and you got almost $1 million. Cardi, she got almost $1 million. We will be dropping that shit to the attorneys and Cardi B. We are telling. We telling, damn it. I love you too. We are telling. We are telling. Tasha K will spend the rest of her life either paying back Cardi B or running from paying this debt. Either way, life is going to be uncomfortable. It sure is. And honey, if again, we don't have any proof that she really had that kind of money. She said that we ain't got, where the paperwork at? I need a receipt. Post it, Tasha. Post it on your community wall or on your website somewhere, girl, because I know you in the bushes because you're always here or you're always lurking. Girl, post that shit somewhere so we can see proof of that because I don't believe it. I believe it was $8,000. I believe that it was $8,000. And you put a couple zeros on that bitch because you knew if you pumped up the zeros, it'd give you more money. I believe I was right the first goddamn time. I don't believe your ass got almost $1 million. Nowhere. You cannot make me believe that. All right. So, girl, we got to move on because I have somewhere to be. Tasha, pay Cardi B. Girl, pay her. Cardi. Oh my goodness. That Sweepy, she's going to tell it. Tasha, I told you. Now Sweepy is going to tell it. She's going to tell my wife. Cardi baby, don't do it. She's a stupid hoe. She don't know no better. Cardi. Please don't do it to us. Child, that's a lot of money. $3.8 million. She's going to be paying Cardi B for the rest of her life. I'm with y'all. You're going to be basically doing videos just to pay her. Now, if you got that kind of money, the $800,000, that's a pretty good chunk. So you trying to move that money around. Tasha, that shit, she got that shit in her purse. She got that shit tucked in her titty. She moving that bitch around from place to place. She is trying to move that money around. She is trying to really stop Cardi from getting that money. Cardi, it's in Africa. It's at the Bank of Africa. I'm going to drop you the receipt. But listen, y'all. So moving on, we got to get off of this. because I got to go. Nosey Heaux, we know that Nosey Heaux is being sued by Nicki Minaj, okay, for the Kokiana statements and everything. And she recently, I guess, apologized for what she said about her son, okay? And this is what it was giving. So blogger Nosey Heaux apologizes for making comments about rapper son amid defamation lawsuit. Now, it looks like the drama between Nicki Minaj and celebrity blogger Nosey Heaux is far from over. Now, while the two women are currently embroiled in a legal battle over defamation claims about Nicki Minaj, the blogger has since issued an apology for seemingly inappropriate comments she made against the rapper. Now, Marley Green said in a tweet, during a few of my live shows, I made a comment about Nicki Minaj's son. I was under a lot of stress and pressure at the time, but I apologize for those comments. No excuses. I will continue to fight to clear my name with the help of my team and lawyer. Okay, so she said about Nicki is shoving in all this cocaine up her nose, allegedly. Thank you, allegedly. But we all know it's true. Listen, I can't even say allegedly with that because we all know it's true. I'm not saying allegedly on that. Nicki Minaj is a oakhead. And, she had said the baby was an R and all of that. So she's saying that, she's sorry. She was under a lot of stress. Now, what I have to say about that, I believe, like I said before, when you're a blogger, we do things and a lot of times we have content that is for shock value and, we trying to get these views and all of this. But you can't just be talking about people's kids. There's supposed to be an unseen rule that we don't talk about people's family, their kids. It's off limits, right? Their moms, their dads, husbands, all this stuff is off limits. But Nosey Heaux has a reputation for just saying whatever it is that she wants to say. And if it is controversial, if it's over the top, that's what she's going to say. I'm not going to say that an apology that it wasn't a true apology or she didn't mean it, because some people are saying that she was put up to saying it by her attorney, because she's in this lawsuit, that it would look good because, the judges and all these other people are going to have kids as well. So it's like, you want to play into that you're a human being and you didn't mean to say the things and you apologize. Now, it's very big of her to apologize because Nosey don't apologize for shit. She doesn't back down for shit. So if she, did apologize on her own behalf, then, that's big of her to do because it was wrong to talk about the baby. The baby doesn't have anything to do with their parents, right? And you just should not be talking and speaking on a child like that. But Nosey is known for that. That's her character. That's who she is. Ever since she's been on YouTube, that's just what she does. So I wouldn't, I wasn't surprised when I heard what she said or this has come to light because this is the fame that she's been looking for, the clout that she's been looking for. She's wanting to be in the limelight for these reasons. She prides herself on speaking her mind, on having an unpopular opinion. That's who she is as a blogger, so whether or not she will prevail in this thing or Nicki will prevail in this thing is left to be seen. Now, a couple people argue that Nicki Minaj has spoken in her raps about her lifestyle and, different recreational activities that she partakes in her songs. Some can argue that Marley can say, well, she raps about it. She said it. She says she's that. So I just said what she said. And then some people can say, well, it's just a song. You can't believe everything that people say in songs. Now, what I say, my opinion about that is it's going to be an uphill battle for Nicki Minaj. It's not going to be as sweet as she thinks it is, because there are a lot of things that Nicki Minaj has said in the past. There's going to be character things that they use from her interviews, from her Queen radio shows. There's going to be things they pull out of songs. They're using rap songs to convict people now. Look at Young Thug and who's the rapper that's with him? Young Thug and Gunna. Look at them. They are in there because of songs, so they are bringing full RICO cases for lyrics. They are solving murders for lyrics. So you can't say that they can't use rap songs, because they absolutely can. Now, whether or not it would work that's what's left to be seen, whether that defense would work or not, but they absolutely could use that. I mean, these were your words. These are your raps. You say you're rapping off your life, your past experience. Well, this is your life you're rapping about. So she could say, I don't know if that shit's true. Now, where you get caught up is when you're passing something off as a fact. And when she says, I know that to be true, I'm not saying allegedly, I know it to be true, that's where she messes up at. Because you're saying that you know it. So now it's on you to prove that you know that. That's where defamation and slander, libel comes in at, because you're passing something off as fact. You are saying that you know it to be true, and then they can show that it was maliciously said, because time and time again, they're going to put videos together of you saying this and saying that about Nicki, and that it was maliciously done. It was done with the intent of hurting her career, hurting her brand, all of that. So that's what the argument is going to be, right? With Nicki Minaj. She's going to say that it affected her. It's so many people retweeted it. I mean, they already went that way in the article, that so many people retweeted it. So many people seen it already. Right? So my opinion, Nicki Minaj is going to have a hard case with this. It's not going to be open and shut like she thinks and everybody else thinks. I believe that she's been waiting to do this for some time. She's been putting it together, and she's been, ever since she did the Surviving the Petties, ever since Nicki Minaj, was being done and subject matter with Nosey with that, I think Nicki was sitting in the background waiting until, Nosey said something that was out of line, and until she just kept doing it until boom, when she went there with her son, that's what, and then the recent allegations again, because this wasn't the first time she said it. And I don't believe was this just recently, or was she said this before? Like, it's multiple times that she said it. So I believe that she was just sitting back in the cut, just waiting on her to slip up and say something so she can, boom, I got her. Boom, I got her. But it doesn't make it right. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Nicki Minaj, but it doesn't make it right. What is being said, if it's not true, you just can't go out here and say things about people that are not true. But again, Nicki, if she said these things in her songs and she comes across as that, and she says she's that, and she has this persona, how can you expect a person not to think you're that? That's what the argument can be. You said it yourself. You said you were. You want to know what I am and what drugs I do? Listen to my rap songs and all this type of stuff. So, and if in your song you're saying Okiana, then that would lead me to believe that you're doing Okiana. So I don't think it's going to be as open and shut as Nicki and her team think. I think that Nosey has a good chance of clearing, this up and maybe it going in her favor. It's definitely going to give her publicity. It's definitely giving her more views. It's definitely giving her a presence online, but who knows what she can do with that. What she can do with this newfound presence. Can she turn it into a platform that'll give her more opportunities? Can she take it to another level? That's what I would do. I would turn that damn thing around and clean my image up, rebrand, because now you're on a national platform. Now you're being looked at. A lot of people now know you. So now I will rebrand. This is the perfect time for Nosey to rebrand and take this thing to the next level, because she's got the personality. She has a great personality, like as far as presence for, to be on, online, like to have a show or to have something to really take her into a career. She has that, but it's like she would just have to, clean it up, refine it a little bit, get her a little business manager, get her somebody that knows how to, you know what I'm saying? That like knows how to really turn this thing around, and she probably can turn it up and she can make something out of it. But I don't think that Nicki is going to be slam and dunk like she thinks it is. Yeah, she is. Definitely. I'm not, she is. But like I said, if she can rebrand and clean herself up, she can take it to another level. She people think that she's, that she's vile because of the things that she's done and everything, but I think that she means well. I think that a lot of times she's often misunderstood, but her actions just makes it worse. Like, she's one of those people that has the potential to do better, to do more, but maybe she's been through some things, maybe she's had some experiences that have kind of soured her or whatever. But I just feel like she just needs to rebrand, get with some people that can help her with her image, and I think she can take this thing out. I think she can take it and she can turn this thing around for herself, right? So that's really all I have to say, you guys. I'm getting ready to take this thing out because I have somewhere to go, somewhere to be. You guys have a good weekend. Make sure you drop down in the comments. I am working on Tasha K, Cardi B's documentary. That should be ready Sunday night. So you guys make sure you like, share, subscribe, share this video. Drop in the comments if you're catching the replay and let me know what you think about both of these topics. You guys like, share, subscribe. Have a great weekend. Catch you on the next video. Bye, y'all. Thank you.